This is why I say when I talk about North countries, I become foolishly emotional. When I remember Barbara Johansson, who came to Tanzania as a missionary of the Lutheran Church, and did a tremendous job for education of girls in Tanzania, and then became a Tanzanian. Ambassador Slaa will tell you of the Norwegian doctor in Haidom in Mbulu, and the great job that he has done in Mbulu. To the extent that I'm sure Ambassador Slaa will tell you, people in Mbulu would want his son to be their member of parliament. And I don't want here to get in trouble with the member of parliament of Mbulu now, because I don't want to quarrel with him. But those from Denmark, the people in Sikonge, Tabora, in a very remote area, they remember the Danish Lutheran missionaries who built a hospital in the midst of forest. And my friends from Mano and the Makaleli in Rungwe, they remember the good job of the missionaries from Finland, the Finnish Lutheran Church. And I'm mentioning the churches to you people in Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, because I know you are very close to God, although now you're very far from our churches. Missionaries did well to our country. Let me end here, because I wish I was in Stockholm. I wish I was with you. I would have told you many stories which will show that really we are friends indeed. So thank you very much for your kind attention. Welcome to Tanzania. Karibuni Tanzania, na asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Naam, mpenzi mtazamaji wa TBC,
sijui kama waziri anatusikia, lakini naomba tupige makofi tafadhali tena.
Funguzi rasmi wa mheshimiwa waziri.
Naomba tumpe standing ovation waziri.
Moja kwa moja kutoka.
Naomba tumpe standing ovation waziri.
Na Watanzania wanaoishi katika nchi za Nordic, lakini hapa ni mkutano ambao umewakutanisha Watanzania kutoka nchi zote duniani. Wawakilishi kutoka kona zote za dunia wako hapa. Kuna
asanteni sana.
Hivyo ni vibagizo za nyimbo mbalimbali za Utanzania na uzalendo. Kama unavyofahamu, mambo ya uzalendo katika serikali hii ya awamu ya 5 yako juu kwa.
Nashukuru sana, tunashukuru sana Profesa waziri wetu. Kama diaspora naweza kusema tumekusikia, tunakupenda, tumekuelewa na maoni yako. Sasa tunaanza kuwafanyia kazi kwa kasi tofauti. Tunashukuru sana.
Hebu basi nikupe nafasi wewe.
Tunashukuru sana. Tunashukuru sana.
Mshereheshaji wa tukio hili upate kutoka kwake.
Let's give it up for Festo, please, for our technician here. He managed to put this thing together. Festo is from Finland. Asante sana Festo. Asante sana Festo. Asante sana. Sasa kwa sababu balozi alishaongea, because the ambassador had already given his first remarks, let me use the privileges of being a master of ceremony to call on stage our honorable speaker, Mr. Job Ndugai. Please. Hands for him, please.
Na msikilizaji na mtazamaji wa TBC1, wakati huu karibishwa mheshimiwa.
Makofi kwa speaker tafadhali.
Mgeni rasmi katika.
Karibu sana speaker. Karibu sana.
Fursa za uwekezaji kwa Watanzania wanaoishi ughaibuni, ili apate kuzungumza na Watanzania hapa Stockholm, Sweden, lakini na Watanzania wote kwa ujumla. Maana kama unavyofahamu, TBC Taifa na TBC1 tunaonekana nchi nzima. Karibu upate nafasi ya kusikiliza mheshimiwa speaker.
It's quite difficult to speak immediately after Professor Kabudi, a renowned law professor from the University of Dar es Salaam, has spoken, and he has spoken very well indeed. Mwenyekiti wa Tanzania Global Diaspora, Balozi Slaa, maofisa kutoka serikali ya Tanzania na upande wa pili wa muungano Zanzibar ambao umeweza kuja, mheshimiwa mbunge mwenzangu Mheshimiwa Maige, bila kuwasahau viongozi wetu wa dini na wana diaspora wote, asalamu alaykum. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Thank you very much Tanzania Global Diaspora through Ambassador Slaa for inviting me to come to Stockholm. It's my first time to be here. Immediately I arrived and I was in town yesterday. I asked the driver of the embassy car to take me around and show me the street where Olof Palme was murdered. Because Olof Palme was really a leader who had a great impact to us in Tanzania. And he did so. I thank him very much for that privilege that I had. Our foreign minister discussed about some of the support that we have got all along since independence from the Nordic countries. And I'm one of the beneficiaries since I studied at a secondary school that was, and still is, at Kibaha Education Center, Kibaha Secondary School, built by the Nordic governments. But later on, I came to Norway for my master's degree. So in my life, I've also used some taxpayers' money from the Nordic people. We have come to join you, the diaspora group from all over the world, for this big, auspicious event. We look forward to listening very keenly from all the presentations that will take place here. And we hope Dr. Slaa will make sure that everybody who is programmed to speak today here gets that opportunity, even if for 5, 6, 7 minutes. We will appreciate for that. And as for us from the parliamentary part of government, we'll take through all the deliberations to our Foreign Affairs Committee, and through our oversight role to government, we will make sure that the necessary changes that will be recommended here do take place back home. Since everything important has already been narrated by our foreign minister, who has greatly preempted me, let me just say that with me I bring along greetings from our President, Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, who asked me to relay his well wishes to this 2-day program. Let me end by asking you, as Professor Kabudi said, on 2 things. 1, try your best to be good citizens in the countries that you live. Carry the Tanzanian name well. Make sure that you adhere to the laws that are there, and speak well of your country, Tanzania. I know most of you living in the diaspora rely on the internet and some of the information that come to you from home. Let me assure you, some of those information are not true. We are the leaders back home. We are just people like you. Good people indeed. Very well-intentioned to our country. Not thieves or a group or a bunch of whatever. And since we are around for 2 days, whenever you have any other questions that you want to ask us, we will be more than ready to explain to you on whatever matter. Nimalizie kwa kuwatakia kila laheri kwa kikao hiki. Karibuni Dodoma, ndio mji wetu mkuu kwa hivi sasa. Mambo yote Dodoma. Dar es Salaam haijafa, bado ni mji wetu mkuu wa kibiashara. Kama viongozi wa dini walivyosema, tunawatakia kila laheri, tunawaombeeni, na nyinyi muendelee kuiombea nchi yenu Tanzania, na muendelee kuipenda nchi yenu Tanzania. Jitahidini sana kututafutia wawekezaji ili nchi yetu iweze kwenda mbele kwa haraka zaidi. Tunaye rais ambaye spidi yake si ya kawaida, na sisi bunge tunajitahidi kumatch spidi ile na kuweza kumzidi ikiwezekana. Kwa hiyo tuna mashindano makubwa, nchi inakwenda mbele, lakini nchi hiyo inayokwenda mbele inahitajia sana uwekezaji na biashara. Asalamu alaikum, na washukuruni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Asanteni sana.
Makofi tafadhali mengine kwa Mheshimiwa Spika. Jamani, maoni kutoka kwa viongozi wetu mmesikia, kutoka kwa waziri, kutoka kwa spika na Mheshimiwa Balozi. Yeye kila siku tukumbusha haya mambo. Kwa hiyo nadhani kadri tunavyoendelea na kongamano hili tutapata majibu kwa maswali mengi, maoni. Kama alivyosema waziri, wanasikiliza, na sisi tuko hapa kwa ajili hiyo. Tuko hapa kwa ajili ya kujenga, hatupo hapa kwa ajili ya kubomoa. Nilikuwa naongea jana na balozi, nafikiri nikamwambia haya walioonyesha Watanzania kutoka dunia nzima sio mapenzi tu, haya ni mahaba. Haya ni mahaba, wamesafiri kutoka sehemu mbalimbali. Now before I go on, I would like to recognize some of the sponsors who made this thing possible. We're going to hear from them later on, and then we have other bankers, Azania Bank. Tafadhali makofi kwao tafadhali. Tutawasikia sana, and these people talk money. So if we talk about investments, we're talking economics. If we're talking money, so those people will let us know how can we access some of the financial systems and advantages that we can take. We also have Equina. These are our neighbors here in Norwegian. You're going to hear from them as well later, but I can just tell you, they're excited as we are excited as a diaspora. There's something that we're going to tell you guys later, what we're planning kufanya kwa Tanzania. Tusije tukasema tu, tumeishi nje lakini hakuna cha kuonyesha kwamba kwetu tumefanya nini. Unaona, kwa hiyo tutaongea baadaye. Now I'd like to call Mr. Now we're going to hear a lot of talking, but then later on we will have very good. I'm just reminded there that let's get some remarks from His Excellency Ambassador Carlson, who is Africa Department Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sweden. Kwa hiyo karibu sana. I wanted to challenge him to say some Swahili word, but I'm not going to do it. So go ahead. How many people here speak Swedish? Oh, good. There you go. Welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you, and thank you, Dr. Slaa, for what you said earlier and kind words about the Swedish Embassy in Dar es Salaam. I'll pass it on for sure. Honorable Speaker, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Africa Department, where I work, I'd like to welcome you not only to this conference, but also to Sweden, because I realize that there's so many of you here that come from outside and perhaps have not ever been in Sweden. Is that correct? Right. And unfortunately, you did not bring the good weather with you. This is the part of the year in Sweden where King Winter is fighting still hard against the King Spring. And unfortunately, King Winter is winning today, at least. We hope for a change quickly. That's the way it is around here. But we have a warm atmosphere here for sure, so I'm sure we will move on in a happy way. As I said earlier, I work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Africa Department. I handle and is in charge of trade and trade promotion with Africa. So where would I be today but here? So promotion work has become, in our system, in our foreign ministry, a bit of a core business, more and more, I would say. And I also noticed from the African embassies here in Stockholm that they're quite active as well when it comes to trade and investment and promoting themselves, not least Dr. Slaa and your team at the Tanzanian embassy here in Stockholm. And I think that's a good thing. I think we need to work harder on promotion of trade and investments, because we are, I think, and I think many of you here agree with me, we are underperforming. Our trade flows are not the way they should be. And I'm happy to see all of you here trying to do something about that, so we get more investment, more trade between our countries. I think that is some of the outcomes that we can hope for this conference. I know we are a bit behind schedule now, so I will be brief and not to talk about the details of what we do. I will just say to you all, welcome to Sweden, as I said, Karibu Stockholm, and hope you had a good cruise, and I hope you have a very fruitful conference and enjoy the opportunities, of course, to talk to each other, because we have the same sort of arrangements in our Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We meet regularly, regionally, and on a regular basis to talk about these things. I think they serve quite a purpose. So all the best with your conference, and I will hold my peace and say I'm done, and Karibu Stockholm.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, we're running out of time. We are way behind. So from now on, you see us cruising at a very little bit of a high speed. Now, everybody call just try to make it as short as possible so that we can catch up with the time. There are people who will have to depart later on from the cruise ship, so we want to make sure that they get everything before they leave. Okay, I would like now to call Mr. Aristides Robert Mbwasi. He's the Director, Department of Investment, Policy Coordination, Investment, Prime Minister's Office. Please welcome. Makofi kwake tafadhali. We good?
Honorable Job Ndugai, the Speaker of the Parliament of Tanzania, Honorable Dr. Wood Borislav, the Ambassador of Tanzania in Sweden, our religious leaders, Honorable Maige, Member of Parliament, Honorable Salum, the Permanent Secretary, President's Office, Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar, the leaders of the Tanzania Diaspora Council, protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Habari za mchana. I see the time is not in our favor, so I will try to go as fast as possible, but I believe we'll get some time to discuss with each other before some of those who will be departing. But for others who will be in the ship, I'll be available so that we can discuss on the way forward. My presentation will be in 6 contents. I'll start with the economic overview of Tanzania, some brief on the investment trends in the recent years, some reasons why you should come and invest in Tanzania, some of the investment opportunities, and what incentives do we offer, and then we'll go to the conclusion. Our country, Tanzania, our interventions are geared at achieving our Vision 2025 that were developed the end of 1990s, early 2000s, so that by 2025, our country will be a middle-income country, the self-sustaining, semi-industrialized economy. During the implementation by the year 2009-2010, we did some review to see how much are we able to achieve our targets that we have put for 2025? With the main reason to see what are the constraints that can impede reaching our targets, so that we could reposition ourselves strategically to make sure that we attain the 2025 vision. In that way, we formulated 3 5-year development plans. The first one was 2011 to 2015, during the end of the tenure of our former president, Jakaya Kikwete. And that one was with the theme of unleashing Tanzania's latent growth potentials. And during that time, the government was trying to unleash, to the bottleneck, removing the constraints to the growth. And the government was trying hard to do the investment in infrastructure. We have done much on the roads, we have done much on the ports, we have done much on the airports, we have done also in railways, and we are still doing it till now. The second 5-year development plan ranges from 2016 to 2020. This one has been started to be implemented with the current 5th phase government under His Excellency John Pombe Magufuli, with the theme of nurturing industrialization for economic transformation and human development. And the third one will start in the 2021 to 2025, and will focus on realizing competitiveness-led export growth. We could say that after all this implementation for this more than 5-6 years, we see Tanzania is at a critical turning point. We have shown a strong growth over the last decade, which offers the foundation. We believe it offers the foundation for transforming our country for over the next 2-3 decades. And the improved performance has raised the aspirations of our fellow East Africans, as well as across Africa and beyond the world. You could see the reason to launch Africa Economic Outlook by Africa Development Bank, the fastest growing economies in Africa. Tanzania is number 7, and lucky enough, on those 10, East Africa has 4, which is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania itself, as well as Rwanda. So East Africa is a region to come now. This growth, the improved performance, has also raised the aspirations and renewed interest of investment in the country. You could see the report launched by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, the latest 2018. These are the countries for East Africa, and the green one is Tanzania. For over the last 7 years, it has been leading for attraction of foreign direct investment, followed by other East African countries. So, as the government, as the people of Tanzania, we are determined to keep the rising aspirations and to manage the continental and the global expectations so that we take the advantages for our country and as well as our partner countries. The investment, I can give you a little picture about the investment trend. The stock of investment, the leading countries in Tanzania. For the FDIs, our Tanzania Investment Center, they do register investment which are coming into the country. And if you take the stock from 1990 to 2017, number 1 is China, Any delegates from China here? Congratulations to her. Number 2 is UK. I had some discussions with some of UK delegates. Congratulations to you. We have also USA, and other countries follow. So if you don't see your country and you are a diaspora, please help us to make a good word for Tanzania so that we increase the foreign direct from your country. Why should you come to invest in Tanzania? The Minister for Foreign Affairs has described, has explained in depth. Tanzania is a very peaceful and politically stable country. We have embraced multi-party democracy since 1990s, and in that we have managed to implement good governance. We have managed to conduct stable elections, multi-party, and lucky God, we have never experienced any civil war. And those are some of the factors any investor would like to see. But as I have shown, we have a very high growth economically, we have low inflation, and a resilient economy. The investment opportunities are available in various natural resources, complemented by availability of arable land, the discoveries of natural gas, extractives, mining, tourist destinations, and we have representation from our tourist board later. You're going to hear more. As our Honorable Minister just pointed, any investor would like to be assured of the money he's investing, and that Tanzania is guarantee on your investment. We have a number of bilateral investment treaties, bilateral trade agreements, but as the Minister said, we have a well-established judiciary system, and we continue to strengthen it. On the market-wise, we are very much strategically located, surrounded by 6 landlocked countries. We have 3 major ports and 3 international airports, and through that you can serve East Africa community itself around 162 million people. We have also another community, Southern African Development Community, that is SADC, composed of around 450 million market. But we are also now connecting the Southern Africa community, the EAC, as well as the COMESA, to form the TFTA that will involve 650 million people. So the investment opportunities, this is not exclusive list, but as we implement the second 5-year development plan with the theme of industrialization, we do focus to attract investment on those areas, but you can see more in our websites, and we can also discuss later. The window you can come in Tanzania through our 3 investment authorities, that is Zanzibar Investment Promotion Authority, ZIPA. They are here. They will have a next presentation. We have our export processing zone, if you are focusing on export-oriented processing, but we also have the main primary agents for promotion of investment, which is Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, located here under the Prime Minister's, our office. Under TIC, you will get facilitated with all that you need through the one-stop window, starting from the incorporation of your business, getting the work permits, the environmental certification, everything you can get in one window. Yes, we do offer, Tanzania, we do offer incentives. As you can see, it ranges from the capital goods. We have 0 import duty for the raw materials, for the semi-finished goods, also for the consumer goods, we offer the 25 import duty. And last year, we designed special incentives for those who are coming for assembly of motor vehicles, tractors, fishing boats, and outboard engines, as well as manufacture pharmaceuticals. We have reduced the corporate tax to only 20% for the first 5 years from 30%. But we do also offer some other non-fiscal incentives. You get the automatic immigration quota for 5 expatriates that can help with your investment. That is automatically, you don't have any condition, but also you have unconditional transferability of funds, free repatriation. So that short presentation, I would take this opportunity to welcome you all to Tanzania to invest in that peaceful, predictable, and prosperous Tanzania. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mbasi. Thank you very much. Hands up for him, please. Makofi kwake tafadhali. Okay, tunaendelea. Sasa, I've been getting questions kwamba hizi PowerPoint zinazoonyeshwa kwenye this presentation watu wote mnaweza mkazipata. Kuna karatasi inazunguka, you can put your email address there, and what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we send it to everybody. Sawa? That sounds good? Okay, very good. Okay, I've walked around a little bit. I see some people sleeping a little bit. Can you stand up for 1 second? Just stand up a little bit. I want to get that energy. Najua tumekula mchana. Stretch up a little bit. Yes, sir. Yes. Stretch up. Okay, mnaweza mkakaa. Kusimama inasaidia sana kuchangamsha damu. Okay. Naomba sasa nimkaribishe kwenu Dorothea Masawe from Tourism Board. She's a tourism officer at the Tanzania Tourist Board. Along with her will be Nidpes Wambui, who is the investment manager from Ngorongoro Crater Authority. They're going to be here, but please, Nidpes will speak tomorrow. Today we're just going to hear from Dorothy. Let's make it as quick as we can so that we get on time. All right, karibu sana Dorothy.
Thank you very much, Honorable John Ndugai, Speaker of Tanzania Parliament, Honorable Dr. Sila, Ambassador of Sweden and Nordic countries, Salum, Permanent Secretary of the President Office in Zanzibar, Ambassador Anissa Mbega, Director of Diaspora Department, Honorable Maige, Ambassador, Member of Parliament, and also I would like to recognize the presence of religion leaders, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to speak about tourism and investment opportunities in Tanzania. This is Tanzania map. Tanzania is rich in all angles, from north to south, east to west. We are rich in natural resources and water as well. Tanzania is in East Africa, the largest country in East Africa, and so far they are estimated to be approximately 56 million people. The national language is Kiswahili. Top 10 tourist arrivals. We do have traditional markets and niche markets. United Kingdom, USA, UK, German, Italy, those are traditional markets, as well as France, Netherlands, and Canada. But the niche markets, India, Israel, and China. Mount Kilimanjaro, you won't find anywhere in the world except Tanzania. The highest mountain in Africa and the highest freestanding mountain in the world. Home of migration, where in Tanzania, that is Serengeti. I will explain about the cycle of migration. You won't believe me, 11 months in Tanzania, just 1 month in our neighbor country. Selu Game Reserve, that is the oldest game reserve in the world and the largest game reserve in Africa with 55,000 square kilometers. Old Gorge, where can you hear about the first human beings? Where that first human beings been? In Ngorongoro crater. You will hear about the Zinjanthropus history as well as the footprints and the skull of human being that being discovered in Ngorongoro crater. Tanzania, we do have 16 national parks in the country and 34 game reserves, 50 game control areas, 2 marine parks, and 1 conservation area. Apart from Kilimanjaro National Park, Serengeti National Park, Selu Game Reserves, and Ngorongoro, there is also historical sites in Zanzibar. Kondoa paints, those rock paints. We do have also the Kilwa Kisiwani ruins. Those are 7 remarkable UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Tanzania. Those, they are found in Tanzania. Zanzibar, what comes to you when you hear about Zanzibar? Wow, spice. You will say about beach tourism. Then Zanzibar, what else? Historical sites. The home of Tanzanite. When you come to Tanzania, you must buy Tanzanite. You won't find anywhere the original one. That is Tanzania. We do have more than 120 ethnic groups. They do have their dialects, but the only country which communicates in one language, it is Tanzania, Kiswahili. Despite the fact, as my colleagues say, Tanzania is a peaceful country. You can't argue on that. And also the good governance. We are so proud of infrastructure now. That tourists can come all over, that can be reachable. You can go to tourist attraction throughout the year. You can come to Tanzania with our national career. What else do you want? Just to come. I would like to talk about Southern Circuit. I'm starting with that Southern Circuit because now we are putting more efforts to promote Southern Circuit. There are 4 national parks. Each national park has its uniqueness. If you talk about, say, Selu Game Reserves, as I said, is the largest game reserves. But also Mikumi, you come there for just a day trip. From Dar es Salaam to Mikumi, it's just a day trip. You can go also to Kitulo. Kitulo is in southern Tanzania. It's a God creation. Why do I say God creation? This is Kitulo. Come to August, September, July, November. This is Kitulo. No one is planting anything. It's just like that. The Ruaha National Park. The Ruaha National Park is the biggest national park in Tanzania with more than 20,000 square kilometers. The second one is Serengeti National Park with 14,000 square kilometers. There's a difference between national parks and game reserves. You might ask that one. National parks, no any activity of human being will be done. No hunting activity. It's only protection, conservation of the products available in the park. But for the game reserves, you can do hunting. I would like also to continue now to talk about Northern Tourist Circuit. Out of 7 African natural wonders, 3 of them are found in
Habari za wakati huu, mtazamaji wa TBC1, kumradhi kwa kukatisha matangazo hayo ya diaspora kutoka huko nchini Sweden. Na sasa tutajiunga na matangazo ya moja kwa moja ya mwendelezo wa ziara ya Mheshimiwa Rais Dr. John Magufuli ambaye hivi punde